Today we want to talk about warning signs that you probably have been overriding. We're not talking about the crash itself, we are talking about a period, a stretch long before that. And I'm pretty sure those signs were there. And probably you didn't miss them, you overrode them. And the very overriding is the skill that actually got you here. And one of the first signs is usually that effort no longer matches the return, and you keep pushing through harder and harder. I want to start off by going back to my own story, and yours may look slightly different, but it looked like discipline and was actually avoidance. In my own case, the 10 hours of triathlon training per week next to a professional career that already left nothing in the tank looked like discipline, but it was actually avoidance. It was avoidance of facing what's happening inside of me. The 15 espressos a day, from the outside, it looked like a productivity boost, but it was actually just running on stimulants in a body that was already completely exhausted and running on its reserves. But I just kept overriding it, right? The irritability, being irritable with people, being irritable at work in ways that I didn't know before. I thought I just needed to manage my stress better, but in fact, that wasn't the case. Every one of those was a sign. It was a symptom that I was neglecting, and I just kept pushing harder. And that's actually part of the problem. We high performers, we read those signs as problems to fix rather than information or signals of our body and our mind that we should listen to. And that actually works very, very well until one day it doesn't. If any of this content resonates with you and you want to take it a step further, please visit my website at nervoussystemrevolution.com. You can get the free chapters, including the prologue, as a PDF download for free. You can get the book, which is available for purchase, or subscribe to my self-paced program, which is now online as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I want to tell you that your warning signs will actually look like your personality, but they are actually not. And we've already, in the previous video, we looked at the different personality types that we develop. And now I want to review some of those to look at how each personality type is actually overriding and hiding the signals. The performer, whose worth is around output, keeps producing while quietly falling apart. Rest feels wrong, so they work through the tiredness, and they treat collapse as a productivity problem. The controller, who manages everything, noticing hurts me, just tightens the system with more structure, more planning, and they grip harder exactly when the body is actually asking them to loosen. The analyzer, who understands it and wants to stay ahead and is diagnosing, they just diagnose it. A clean, respectable name. They will call it overtraining, a deficiency, a protocol. They keep researching to try and understand it. That was certainly me. I was belonging to that category. The busy one, who thinks, if I stop, I'll feel it. They never have a gap. They keep being in motion. They will call it having a full life. Until one day, a forced pause takes the emotion away and will force them to confront the inner world. So you see, those are different strategies, but the same move. The performer performs harder, the controller controls tighter, the analyzer diagnoses more cleanly, and the busy one keeps filling the gaps just faster. And the coping is not separate from the symptom. The coping is the symptom itself, right? Different strategies, same move. Answer the signal with more strategy. Now, I think that the better you cope, the harder you may actually crash. And what I mean by that, the coping itself, it keeps you functioning while the load underneath that is buried behind layers of protection is just climbing. So the better strategy is more load before anything shows up. And a poor strategy, if you are poor in coping, will actually break you much quicker. So a high performer will break very late when the load is already very high. And the crash itself is not a weakness. It's the bill for how strong you actually were to push through that hard, right? To keep coping for so long, not realizing what you're doing. And for me, it arrived brutally. And the first period was lasting more than 18 months. And, this video is possibly also for a person who is not yet in the crisis, but is having early symptoms, right? And the early symptoms, what are they saying? They are saying not manage your stress better. That is override talking, as we've just discussed. The symptom is in productive override. It's actually at its edge. The tiredness that you have that doesn't resolve with rest, the dread that you have with no object, seeing life like through a glass, small things that cost you a lot. These are signals that you should listen to. They are not character failures. It's a nervous system that is signaling to you something is wrong. It is information which you should not override. You should listen to it. And the shift is really to stop seeing those signals as enemies, but see them as data to work with. So I want to tell you, if you are in a position where you haven't actually crashed yet, but you recognize yourself in one of these patterns, and you already have very strong signals from your body, don't wait until the floor drops underneath, because the crash that is waiting for you can be brutal, and it's the only language left after years and years of override. So please take it very seriously while it's still small. If anything in this video resonated with you, I would love to hear further below in the comments. And if you want to see future content coming, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you there.